Pamela Davis. I represent the water group. Erin Huber's here. She helped facilitate the group at the summit, and I'm hoping she'll help us be a co-steering committee leader because our other person had to drop out because they actually represent the sewer district. So our group's going to be in need of another steering committee member. Just to let you know, we kind of refer to our group as Cleveland Water Works. The name isn't really capturing where I think we need to go, and so we're going to talk about that collectively. A couple of the projects that are going to be moving forward is we've actually heard from the sewer district on their regional stormwater approach. We're actively going to support the implementation of that regional approach to managing stormwater, and then supporting the Great Lakes Science Center's Freshwater Institute. So we're actively supporting that. What we really need to do is actually get back together again. And go through all of the post-it notes we looked at, because when we start thinking about water, how sustainable water can be, we really need to think of water in three ways. Sustainable for industrial, economic use. That means using it and protecting it. What it means to be sustainable for social use as our drinking water, but also as recreation for us. We also have to think about what sustainability for water means in the way of environment for habitat and resource protection. And so the group's going to need to come back together again and start thinking about what are those small, doable projects that we actually can start embracing and start supporting so that we can actually start putting together some actions, because I think our group is an action group as opposed to cheerleading. We can all cheerlead, but we need to get our foot moving if we're going to have a sustainable future for 2019. So the idea is to get that vision, but also to get those small projects. Now I've benefited from being the last person, but also benefited from Mike Neuendorfer's work. I'd like to share a couple things with all of you since you're steering committee representatives. I've been doing a little bit of research on AI, and I think that this may help you. I think our role as steering committee representatives is that we are to be the champion of our group, to get them to think out of the box, think big, think small, keep them thinking, keep them working. We need to get them to where we can identify objectives, but also identify measurable goals and progress. And then we need to actually start leading towards that direction of telling the story at the summit, this next summit, but also 2019. What did we affect and change? How were we effective in getting change to happen? And so some of the early stuff, as I mentioned, we're going to review those post notes. We're going to talk about how do we celebrate water? What are the good stories we can tell? What are our visions for 2019? Do we have the right people in the room in our group? And how do we cross-pollinate? I think it's our role as a steering committee rep to actually do that cross-pollination and make sure those connections are matched. And can we get those doable initiatives for the next summit and to put together a schedule? So I just thought I'd share that since I've been thinking hard about it and it hurts. So go Cats.